There is a right path to build wealth. There's a right way to build a business. Today we are going to look at part 6 of the Millionaire Fastlane series from the book The Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco. Kindly subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please like this video. Thank you very much. Let's get into it. The first thing we want to discuss is the right routes to wealth. If you are a slow laner, your road is your job. A doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, a salesman, a hairdresser, you name it. If you are a fast laner, your road is your business. An internet entrepreneur, a real estate investor, an inventor, a business owner. And so your road is your career or your business path, and that road must lead you to wealth. He said that if you want to be a fast laner and you heeded to his instruction that starts a business and you decide to start a lemonade stand or cutting hair for $10 or 10 cedis a month, then he as an author has failed. He said that there are certain commandments you can follow or you have to follow to be able to become a fast laner. If not, if you decide that you want to cut hair, how long will you be cutting hair? 10 cedis to be able to make that kind of money that fast laners make. And so it's not any business that practices the law of affection. I spoke about the law of affection in part 5 of this series, which shows that to be able to make millions, you have to impact millions. To be able to make a lot of money, you have to make sure that whatever you are doing is able to impact many more people, and then you'll get profit back in return. If you write a book and it becomes a bestseller where 1 million copies are sold, that means you are making profits back and it's impacting 1 million people. But if I decide to sell soft drinks in my house and 10 people buy a day, because I am not impacting a lot of people, there's a possibility I will also make a lot of money back. Well, unless you are selling Ferraris and those kind of things, which is also a different kind of thing. Among the 5 lane commandments, the first commandment is the commandment of need. Research indicates that 90% of new businesses fail within the first 5 years. And he says that because they do not practice the commandment of need. When a business doesn't solve the needs of people, then that business will automatically crumple. The foundation must be right, and you would win if you solve the needs of people. And so businesses that provide value win. Businesses that solve problems win. He says that people care about what your business can do or what your product can do for them. Will it help them? Will it make their life easier? Will it solve their problems? If it can do that, then people are ready to invest their money into your business. But if your business cannot do anything for them, if you cannot make their life easier, it cannot help them to become rich or even make more money, then people are not willing to put their money in such kind of businesses. And so he indicates that most entrepreneurs start businesses based on selfish reasons. I want to have a new source of income, so they decide to start a business. I just learned this, so I want to start that business. He says no, your business must be able to command need. People must need it. People must be doing something for the lives of people, for people to be willing to invest their money into it. The next is the command of entry. He says that the entry barriers of any businesses fall or it lessens as effectiveness of that business declines. So for example, when Uber came, there were few cars that were used for this Uber business, but as time went on, everyone was turning their car into an Uber, and so the demand for a number of trips per day will fall because now there are a lot of people into it. This is what he's talking about. As more people get into a particular business, the entry barriers fall down, but it becomes more difficult to be able to win or succeed in that business. So he's used an example as internet blog, and when it came, everybody was doing it, and a lot of people actually made millions out of it, but it became something everyone is now doing, and it's difficult to be able to succeed out of that because of the commandment of entry. He says that it's not just about starting a business using $200 or 200 cedis to start a business, because saturation, when a lot of people are there, saturation causes noise, and noise causes decline, and so decline will cause, you will not really make profit out of it. So he says that when a lot of people are digging for gold, don't also go and join them to dig the gold. Instead, sell shovel. And so the rule here is that when everybody is doing it, he says you shouldn't do it because everyone is doing it. Find something else and do. The next command is the command of control. He says you are either in control of your financial plan or you are not. There's no in between here. And so he says, yeah, that is why we are talking of business here. You should be in control. And so think manufacturing, not retail. You have to be the one who is in control. You have to be the one making the decisions. And so you have to think big, not small. You have to think globally, not locally. You have to be in control, because if you join someone else, then you are not in control of it. The next is the commandment of scale. It says scale is about leverage, and leverage gives Fastlaners, the power they operate with. So you have to think big. You have to look at how to expand whatever you are doing. Think nationally, think globally, not locally. Say tiny habitat creates tiny wealth. And this is what I spoke about in part 5 of this series, the law of effection. He says that if you impact a lot of people, that means you will also get more back. So you are thinking on a large scale. You want to produce something. Think on how many people can this reach, how many people can this benefit, how many people will be able to be helpful to people. And as a lot of people buy, that means you also be making a lot of money. So scale is a leverage here. The last commandment is the commandment of time. And here time, he's talking about passive income. You are starting a business. How would you be able to leverage it in such a way that you have control over your time? How will you be able to leverage it in such a way that as you are sleeping, it's making money for you? And so here the commandment of time is for you to be able to detach yourself from it. So would you still be able to be somewhere the business will be running elsewhere? If not, that becomes your job. And Fastlaners don't really want jobs. They want to have control over their time. The next important thing I want us to discuss is how you should be able to seize the opportunities that are presented to you. How to be able to find the open road. He says that you might come up with a business idea or an idea and someone else is doing it. So do you quit or do you just stop because someone else is doing it? No. He says most of the mega businesses that are existing today were just small ideas that they started with, and they kept making the idea better and better, and here is where they are. So if you have an idea and someone else is doing it, don't just let it go. Find a way to do it better than the person. And so someone is frying yams to sell, or someone is frying chips. How would you make yours better? Usually he talks about how to generate ideas. When you read the stories of how most businesses started, most of them were actually things that they hated or things they lacked. So somebody starts to make makeup for black people because the person could never find a makeup shade or a color for people with dark skin. So the person decided to invent that. Someone wanted fast internet connection and things were slow and they were wasting time. So the person decided to find a way to invent a way to get fast internet, right? So he says that most of the things you hate, most of the things people talk about that they are frustrated about, that the things you can leverage on to come up with those ideas and find a way to make it into an opportunity. And the final thing I want us to discuss is that he said you should give your road a destination. He says freedom has a price. And the price of freedom is money. Your big dreams cost money. You want to travel the world, it costs money. You want to own the latest car, it costs money. Even the smallest of dreams costs money. And so what are you willing to invest in? What are you willing to put in to be able to make this money? And so the first thing is to define your lifestyle. What exactly do you want? The second is to assess the cost. How much does your dream cost? You want to travel the world. Do you know how much money you would need to be able to travel the world? You want to live a luxurious life. Do you know how much it will need? You want to help people. Do you know how much you will need? You have to know how much your dreams cost. And then you find a way. So you leverage on business systems. Start a business you think will be able to fund that lifestyle you want. And then you go ahead, make it work, and you are in the millionaire fast lane. Kindly subscribe to the channel, and next I'll be bringing you the last part of this series, that is part 7 of the Millionaire Fastlane series. Do check out on the previous 6 parts, and I'll see you later. Bye.